ஹலோ ஹலோ நிறைய கேக்குதா?
என்னடா ஃபேன் போடல காக்கி நீ கூட குண்டா இருக்கு.
ஹலோ
ஹலோ நிறைய கேக்குதா?
காக்கி திரும்பவே
நான் அந்த அளவுக்கு குண்டாகல, கொஞ்சம்.
ராக்கின் பேசுறது தான் கேக்குது.
மேம் சாரி மேம், ராக்கி தெரியாம பேசிட்டோம்.
மேம்
Good evening, doctor. Present பண்ணுங்க.
குட் ஈவினிங். I'm K. Praveen Raj, ma'am. I'm going to present a case of name Mrs. Shyam Saranya, 22 years old female, residence of Keel Park, occupation homemaker, of belonging to socioeconomic class 3, according to modified Kupusamy scale, and primary gravida, booked on the immunized at KMC. Her LMP was 7 March 2020, and the expected day of delivery 14 December 2020. And gestational age 38 weeks plus 5 days.
Okay.
She came with 9 months of amenorrhea, 38 weeks of gestation for regular checkup. No issue of lower abdominal pain, no issue of bleeding or draining period.
Okay.
Presenting illness, no issue of presenting pregnancy, first trimester, spontaneous conception after 1 year of marriage, and the UPT was positive at 5 weeks of amenorrhea, and pregnancy was confirmed by ultrasound, and nuchal thickness scan was done, and 12 weeks and found to be normal, and dating scan was done at 8 weeks with excellent date.
Okay.
History of morning stiffness, morning sickness present. Folic acid tablets are taken. No history of any fever with rashes. No history of hyperemesis gravidorum. No history of burning induration. No history of bleeding, PV or any white discharge. No history of radiation exposure. No history of drug consumption. Our second trimester, quickening was felt at 20 weeks. The anamnesis scan was done at 18 weeks and found to be normal. And iron and folic acids are taken regularly, and immunized with 2 doses of TT, TD we given 4 weeks apart. Blood pressure and blood glucose, OGCT was found to be normal. No history of any bleeding, PV or white discharge.
Okay.
No issue of lower abdominal pain, no issue of easy fatiguability or weakness, no issue of dyspnea, no issue of blurring vision or headache, no issue of syncope, decreased urine output, no issue of pedal edema.
Okay.
Third trimester history, fetal movements are perceived well, and growth scan was done and found to be normal, and no issue of bleeding, draining PV, no issue of lower abdominal pain, no issue of fever, no GDM, no issue of GDM or PAH.
Okay. So in this case, if I say there is an importance for draining PV, so what will be the importance there? I mean, not about other cases. This
Premature rupture.
Yes. So it's pre-labor or premature rupture of membrane. Which
Rupture of membrane.
Why is premature rupture of PPD?
We have to go with cesarean section or to decide for vaginal delivery.
Okay. So, when should a membrane rupture in a normal patient?
At the onset of
Any normal pregnant patient, when should it rupture?
the onset
Onset of labor. Okay.
labor.
Onset of labor na when will you say the labor is on? I mean, like started. Onset of labor.
Ma'am, uterine contractions and true labor pain with.
Okay. So uterine contractions, true labor pains varumbodhu, what will be your PV findings? PV பண்ணும்போது per vaginal examination.
Cervical dilatation and effacement.
Yes. Should be what?
More than 4 centimeters.
Even before that, you will get true labor pains. Okay, fine.
Okay.
So when do we call it active labor? Is previously we used to say 4 centimeters, and whenever we say 4 centimeters, it is at least 75% effaced or even fully effaced. Okay. So effacement should be fully effaced or very soft. Then only a patient will be 4 centimeters. We say active labor. Now it has been redefined. People are calling 6 centimeters as active labor, according to the recent guidelines in RCOG. But still, you can stick on to 4 centimeters to say that patient has gone into active labor. But labor pains will be before that itself. Okay. Even when your patient is 50%, 2 centimeters itself, she can have labor pains. Okay. So you don't expect the membrane to rupture at 2 centimeters, which is not normal. Okay. Ideally, your membrane should rupture at, like almost like full dilatation, or say around 8 centimeters. That is when a membrane is expected to rupture normally. Okay. So pre-labor rupture of membrane or premature rupture of membrane is before the cervical dilatation. If your membrane ruptures, it is not normal. Okay. What does it mean? Usually your uterus, cervix, a well applied fetal head. Okay, so this is your well applied fetal head, which is covered with the membrane there. And when the membrane ruptures, okay, it progresses and they deliver. Okay, so if it is a CPD, okay, so here you have your uterus. Okay, the baby's head is not going in. Okay, so the baby's head is here. Okay, so the membrane chances will be, okay, the membrane can be just hanging loose like this. There will be more amount of this water entering into the space. Okay, so with pressure, it ruptures before cervical dilatation. Okay, so what can happen? What is one of the risk here? By seeing this, you tell me what is the complication which can happen.
Prolapse of cord can occur.
Excellent, doctor. Excellent. So here is going to be the baby's cord loops lying down there. Here it is well applied. Here you don't have space. So the cord cannot go down like that. Here you have lot of space between the baby's head and the cervix. So the cord will be the one which goes down there. Okay. So that is the complication for premature rupture of membrane before labor. If it is a mobile head, definitely there can be cord prolapse. Are we clear with it? Can we proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead, doctor.
And menstrual history, age at menarche 14 years, regular 28-day cycle with 4. Our flow is normal, uses 3 pads per day, no clots found. No history of dysmenorrhea. Last menstrual period, 7 March 2020.
Okay.
Marital history, age at marriage 21 years, duration of marriage 1 year, non-consanguineous marriage. And past history, no history of diabetes, hypertension, thyroid disorder, bronchial asthma, cardiovascular problems, and epilepsy. No history of rickets, osteomalacia, TB of hip, pelvic joints, or spines. And,
very good. Yeah, fine. Go ahead. We'll stop with this.
No history of fracture or surgery of pelvis or spine. No history of fracture or surgery or lower limb.
Okay. So this is a very, very important history slide for your case of CPD. Okay. So these are routines. This is not going to change. This you routinely ask for all patients. So this is not related to your CPD. The remaining is related to your CPD. So what happens if your patient says she had rickets in childhood? What
Ma'am,
rickets?
she may bowed legs or her pelvis
Okay,
can
that's
be
the examination finding. What is rickets?
defect in growth of bone,
Because
which is
of,
due to vitamin D deficiency during her childhood.
okay. So what happens to the bones? The bones become soft.
Soft.
Okay, there will be a defect in the mineralization. The bones will become very soft. So when the baby is bearing weight, when they walk and when they lie down, there will be a change in the shape of the pelvis. So
Okay.
what will be the shape of the pelvis in rickets? Anyone? Rickets pelvis shape. Rickets pelvis.
A convergent or
Okay. So what is the shape called? Some people like
android.
those. No, not android.
Nagel's pelvis.
It's,
No. Like, let us not confuse about your Nagle's and
Rachitic
Robert's
flat
pelvis.
pelvis, ma'am.
Okay, so rickety pelvis will have a bean shaped or a kidney shaped, reniform shaped. Okay, so it will be a prominent sacral bone. Okay, it will be like this, your ricketic shape. Okay, what will happen with osteomalacia? What is the problem there in osteomalacia?
Ma'am, again the vitamin D deficiency in
So the
adults
bones
is
will
what is
become
the
soft. So it is like during the adolescence to adult, again the pelvis will have a triradiate appearance. Okay, so there will be a shape change. So it will be like your pelvis will have this shape. Okay, what is the problem with tuberculosis?
TB, the joints may be involved.
Okay, so
there will be
TB of the hip, pelvic joints, or spine. Yes, what will happen if there is TB?
further osteomyelitis of bone.
Yes. So one, there will be a limp.
Limp. Yes.
Okay, the patient will start limping, and because of that, with chronic pain, they may have a change in the pelvis shape. 1. 2, if the spine is having TB. Okay, so depending on the spine, there can be like kyphoscoliosis.
Kyphosis.
Yes, there can be kyphosis, there can be scoliosis, there can be spondylolisthesis, there can be some changes to the spine. So imagine your spine is going to be like changing like this. So definitely your hip bone will also have a change. So whenever your spine's shape is changed, your hip bone will also change to accommodate your intra-abdominal organs. Okay, so for your patient with CPD, the most important history is only this. The same thing for fractures, surgeries, anything else? Anything else with the bone you will ask for? Fracture.
Pelvic fractures.
Yes, any tumors of the bone is also important.
Okay.
Okay, so tumors of the bone which is operated and all those things are also important. Okay, any problem with the hip joint, I mean like, with your leg is there, for example, this leg is becoming shortened and this one is long, so that there will definitely be a tilt in the way the patient is walking, the gait will be different. And because of the chronic gait problem, definitely there will be a shape in the difference in the shape of the pelvis and thereby causing contractions. So this is a very important, history for your case. Okay, go ahead, doctor.
Personalistic consumes mixed diet, normal bowel and bladder habits, normal appetite and normal sleep pattern, 8 hours in night and 2 hours in the afternoon, no history of smoking, alcohol or drug abuse, and family history, no history of diabetes, hypertension, tuberculosis in our family members.
Okay.
No history of, no family history of any starts, stretch.
Okay.
On the summary, Mrs. M. Saranya, a 22-year-old primary gravida, with obstetric score G1 belonging to class 3 socioeconomic status according to modified Kupsam scale with LMP of 7 March and
Thing is, you're like, again and again saying this very completely, I will not ask you to mention this again and again. If your examiner goes in depth and they say, okay, explain to me about modified Kupasamy scale, then you should be able to explain that properly. Okay? This need not come back in the summary. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. And her gestation is 38 weeks plus 5 days of gestation came for regular checkup and with no significant.
Fine, go ahead, doctor.
Okay. General examination, patient is conscious, oriented, and comfortable, and not dyspneic. She is a short stature woman, moderately built and nourished, no planar, no sinuses clubbing, no pedal edema, no generalized lymphadenopathy, no deformities of spine found, no shortening of lower limbs present.
Okay.
And breast examination, no discharge, breast lump, no breast lump, no retracted nipples, and thyroid examination not enlarged. Anthropometry, weight 48 kg pre-conceptional and height 139 centimeter. Preconceptional BMI 24.8 found to be normal and current weight 58 kg.
Okay, so what is the height cutoff to say that she's a short primary?
145 centimeter.
Yes, for Asians we take it as 145 centimeters. Okay, go ahead, doctor.
Vitals, blood pressure 120 by 78 millimeters mercury in right upper limb in sitting position. Pulse 86 per minute, regular in rhythm, normal in volume, no specific characters, no radial delay, no radiofamiliar delay, and all peripheral pulses are felt on both sides equally. Respiratory rate 18 per minute, abdominal thoracic time, temperature 98.4 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay.
And obstetric examination.
I mean, happy if you told me about gait. Okay, see, this is a case of CPD. So I'm more concerned about how is her gait. Okay, so what are all the abnormal gaits you will see in CPDs?
Ma'am, waddling gait.
Yes, very good. What is waddling gait?
The patient both side tender lumbar gait.
Okay. Waddling gait is nothing but like walking like a duck. Okay.
Yes.
So swaying and like walking like a duck, that will be waddling gait. What kind of condition you will have waddling gait? All CPDs, pendulous abdomen, you will have. No, not all pregnant women will not have waddling gait. More so with the CPD women, they will have it. Okay. So that is why we are asking about gait and any limp is there. And one more history which you have to mention is polio, which has to be in your previous history as negative history. No history of polio has to be coming to your thing because that is more common in our country. Maybe like we are seeing it rarely, but still there are few cases of pregnant women who come with polio. Okay. So TB you mentioned very good. Definitely polio should also be coming in your history. No history of polio in childhood.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Go ahead, doctor.
Obstetric examination. After getting consent from patient, procedures were explained to the patient and she was asked to empty bladder and abdomen was exposed from ZT7 to pubic symphysis. She was examined in a dorsal position with semi-flexed thigh.
Yes.
And on inspection, abdominal longitudinally enlarged stria vidorum and linea nigra seen. Umbilicus elevated and midline in position. No scars and sinuses. No dilated veins. Palpation. Fundalite corresponds to 32 weeks of gestation and flanks full. Abdominal breadth 95 centimeter.
Okay.
After correcting the dextro rotation, fundal grip, just a broad, soft, bulky, not independently palatable, most probably buttock. And umbilical grip, left side is smooth curve, odd uniform resistance felt, probably spine, and right side, multiple small nodules are felt, probably limb buds. And
Okay.
first pelvic grip, hard round, independently palatable mouse, probably head. And second pelvic grip, findings of first pelvic grip confirmed and head is not engaged.
Okay.
So on
So,
the abdominal method, head touches the pubic symphysis.
will we say touches?
Flushes
Yes. Head is flushed with the pubic
pubic
symphysis. So
symphysis.
there are 3 degrees we say. One is no
No
CPD,
CPD,
it's minor
first
degree,
degree, second degree.
yeah, and major degree. Okay, simple terms. So minor degree is your head gets flushed with the pubic symphysis, and major degree will be
Head to the pubic.
excellent overriding of the head over the pubic symphysis. So this at least you should be very clear. Abdominal pelvic method, when we come to discussion, we will discuss. Okay, so anything else?
No. An auscultation, fetal heart sound at the left spinal umbilical line, below umbilicus. Fetal heart rate found to be 140 per minute, regular in rate and return.
Okay.
Respiratory system, normal vesicular blood sound, no alert sounds. Cardiovascular system
This
is
all
well
should
to.
come before, la, usually. You,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, it's okay. Fine.
Interchange.
So the other systems are normal. Okay,
Okay.
go ahead next.
And summary.
Yes.
Summary: 23-year-old Mrs. Savanya came with a LMP on March 7 and with a date, a expected date on 14 December for regular checkup with no significant complaints. She was a short stature and her height is 139 centimeter. On obstetric examination, she has a single eye fetus, longitudinal eye, and cephalic presentation, head not engaged. On abdominal method, head flushes the pubic symphysis and the heart rate was found to be 140 per minute.
Okay. So, if,
Diagnosis.
more specific than head not engaged, what can you say for her?
It is floating.
Mobile head is
Mobile head.
more nicer word rather than saying engaged. Okay.
Okay.
So, is there anything else you want to tell in this? Any other thing you have?
No, ma'am. Just a CPD with a mild degree.
Okay. So, she has, according to you, a minor degree CPD. Okay. So, fine. So, let us go ahead from each thing. So, what are all the differential diagnoses for mobile head for a primary at term? Mobile head at
It's
excellent. Yes. After
cord around the neck.
Okay. Something else more important?
Placenta.
It's okay. Always you should make sure that empty bladder should be there. Even a full bladder can give. So if that is good,
Polyhydramnios.
yes, polyhydramnias, yes, placenta previa or any tumor in the lower segment like your fibroid or ovarian cyst, which is not allowing head to come down. Anything else?
Prematurity.
Yes, preterm babies will be like, but this should not be answered for if the question comes as mobile head at term. Okay, but if they generally ask for mobile head, you can always say prematurity because your head is, when is the head is expected to engage? Engagement in a primary
at term,
right,
40 weeks.
And multi, usually in a primary around 38 weeks we expect them to, 37 to 38 they should like get engaged. Okay, if it is mobile around 38 weeks, then the chances of it is going to be, there are still other causes. For multi, they usually engage in labor. So for a multi, a mobile head is not much of significance. And what are all the other more important causes for mobile head in a primary is
contracted pelvis.
Yes, yes.
Malpresentation.
And malpresentations. More important is malposition. So what is the malpresentation you expect? What is difference between malpresentation and malposition?
In malpresentation, the denominator will different, like a breach or
yes, what else?
Head or shoulder. A part of the fetus may different in malpresentation. Yes. And malposition, the presenting part will differ in the pelvic inlet or pelvic cavity.
Okay.
Its
So,
denominator is different in different quadrant.
okay. So if it is a mal position, it can be either your deep flexed head and occipital posteriors and everything will come in mal positions,
Position.
right? Okay. So if it is a deep flexed head, that is one of the more common causes for your mobile head at term. Okay. Fine.
Okay.
So what is the basic principle of giving, what is contracted pelvis? Define contracted pelvis.
Contracted pelvis decrease in more than or equal to 1 centimeter the greater dimension of the pelvis at any plane, whether it is inlet, mid pelvis, or outlet, one or more.
Okay, one or more diameters, which is less in one or more plane. Usually we take the cutoff of 0.5 centimeter. Even if it is less by 0.5 centimeter, you can call it as contracted pelvis. Or if you, the other way of obstetrical definition is that a pelvis which is contracted and which causes an obstruction or a difficulty to deliver is called as contracted pelvis. What is the difference between a contracted pelvis and a cephalopelvic disproportion?
In contracted pelvis, the anatomy of pelvis itself abnormal. In case of
Yes.
cephalopelvic disproportion, there will be normal pelvis anatomy, but the fetal head
Yeah, that's just a disproportion between the size of the pelvis and the baby.
to
So
that pregnancy.
yes, so that baby can be big or it can be a deep flexed head, and that's why it's not descending down. Okay, but contracted pelvis, it's always a small pelvis.
Yes.
Okay, so CPD need not be recurrent because the second baby can be a smaller baby also,
Okay.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what is fetopelvic disproportion?
Fetopelvic.
Disproportion. So if only head is the presentation part, you can say cephalopelvic disproportion. So that you call it fetopelvic disproportion.
I haven't heard that term.
You didn't get my question. Okay, fine. Cephalopelvic disproportion means disproportion between a cephalic part,
Okay.
cephalic head.
Okay.
You will get
Uh,
it as fetopelvic
Fetopelvic
disproportion.
disproportion. Okay.
That's a breach.
Okay.
Okay. For breech, you cannot say cephalopelvic disproportion. So if you have a breech which has a big baby, there is a disproportion, then you will call it as fetopelvic disproportion.
Okay.
Very. So,
Uh,
asynchronous. Anyone?
Meet in the midline of the pelvis, ma'am.
Very
And it
good.
is towards the
Or posteriorly, you call it as acentralism. So anterior and posterior, yes. So depending on is faster, you call it anterior or posterior, depending on that. Okay, so what is anterior asyncretism? Is the anterior parietal presentation where the fetal head is more towards the sacral promontory. That is anterior asyncretism. Posterior is the opposite of that. So Neglis and Litzman. Okay,
okay.
So,
Yes.
who classified pelvis?
Caldwell and Moyer classification of
What are the 4 types of pelvic classifications?
gynecoid, anthropoid, android, platypoid.
Platypelloid. Okay. Which is the most common type of pelvis?
I mean, females are gynecoid pelvis more common.
Okay, good. Nice. Yeah, in male we expect the android type of pelvis, correct? But whenever we talk about pelvis, we always talk about females, so it's fine. So, and there are also mixed type of pelvis.
Right.
So, okay. So you have to know what is the basic difference between all the 4 type of pelvis. So, which we will start seeing. And before that, okay, when all will you suspect disproportion? Say, when a patient comes to you to OPD, what are all the conditions? Conditions which will make you suspect that yes, this patient can have disproportion, CPD or whatever.
Prolonged dates or short stature.
Yes, short structures, yes.
Mobile head.
Yes. Pendulous abdomen. What does pendulous abdomen mean? Pendulous abdomen. The abdomen
flanks are
forward. Okay. Your abdomen looks, it just falls forward earlier. It means the head cannot go down into the pelvis so that it is falling forward. So that is called as pendulous abdomen. Okay. And if a patient, for example, I'm saying this is a second gravida, but still she's having contracted pelvis. What are all the problems in the history, or you can pick it up to say that yes, previously there was a difficult labor or contracted pelvis.
Okay.
What are all the history which she will tell you? That previous pregnancy, CPD was missed, and that is why, like, you know, this pregnancy she's come. So previous pregnancy la CPD irukkunna, what are all the history of patients will tell you?
Any fetal distress or cesarean section indication?
Yes, fetal distress. Your fetus going in for deeply, asphyxiated baby, stillborn baby dying. Okay.
Assisted deliveries.
Other side, yes, instrumental delivery, perineal tears. Okay. A second stage cesarean section. Then there was injury to the bladder bubble, and if she had all these fistulas, okay. Your vesicovaginal fistula.
Vesicovaginal and vesicorectal.
Yes, all these things will tell you that yes, and even a complete perineal tear with all these sphincters being damaged. These are all the histories which will tell you that previous pregnancy there could be a CPD. You can get patients like that. Okay. So what is dystocia dystrophia syndrome?
The woman is short stature with android type of pelvis with distribution of male type hair
distribution, and she is short and obese. She may have broad shoulders. Okay, so these women will definitely have a android pelvis. What is the complication which you expect with an android pelvis?
Deep transverse arrest.
Excellent. So they will go in. Okay. So what is the important diameter of the inlet?
Obstetric conjugate is 18.
Yes. So what are all the 3 anteroposterior diameters which you know about the inlet?
Anteroposterior diameters on the superior border of pubic symphysis.
Yes.
Diagonal conjugate, obstetric conjugate, and
conjugate. Anatomical.
True conjugate.
Okay, fine. Go ahead. Now you tell me. How do you measure diagonal conjugate?
Per vaginal examination.
Yes.
On right hand, the examiners into the middle finger and index finger into the vagina, and with the left hand
add on, you can
approach the sacral promontory.
Sterile precautions. A gloved finger, middle and index finger is introduced. It's understood, but you have to tell that. Okay. So you put a sterile glove and then you introduce your fingers. Okay. Go and do what?
To reach the sacral promontory, and with the left hand, the mark at the lower border of pubic symphysis.
Pubic symphysis is marked on your right hand, and then you take it out and you measure. That is your diagonal conjugate. And obstetric conjugate from that?
By deducting 1 to 1.5 centimeters from the diagonal
1.5 to 2 centimeters you reduced. So whether you're going to reduce 1.5 or 2, it depends upon the
horizontal, like
thickness of your pubic symphysis, your length and other things will decide whether you want to reduce 1.5 or 2, right? Okay. How will you do a pelvic assessment? When should a pelvic assessment be done?
At 38 weeks, pelvic assessment.
Okay. And assessment of CPD, when should you assess CPD? Ideally,
patient came for
of labor. Excellent. I got the answer. Concept of labor. Okay, CPD. Fine. So how will you assess pelvis?
Ma'am, by Munro
How the fingers, there are questions. You're doing a PV with your index and middle finger of the right hand. You introduce adala panto. Ipa pelvis kitta vaanga. What all you do first?
Ma'am, fanning out of the index finger and middle finger to find out the interspinous distance.
எடுத்தோனே interspinous முதல்ல inlet அப்புறம் cavity அப்புறம் தான் outlet. First inlet.
For the inlet, the diagonal and the diagonal conjugate will be measured, and the promontory, the sacral curvature.
Sacral promontory. Hit the sacral promontory, whether it is prominent or not, you will see. You will see the curve of the sacrum, and then you'll go sideways. Side wall enna irukum?
Spinous process, ischial. Sacrotuberous ligament.
Notch.
Yes.
What should
whether it insert 2 fingers or
yes, it should admit 2 fingers. அதுக்கப்புறம் அப்படி சைடுல வந்தீங்கன்னா தான் you will get your spines. You will see whether the spines are prominent or not. Okay, and then you will try to span and see whether you are able to touch 2 spines simultaneously. If you are able to touch 2 spines simultaneously, what does it mean?
It is a contracted pelvis, ma'am.
Yes, it is less than 10 centimeters. It is a contracted pelvis. And then you'll see the side walls, whether they are convergent or divergent.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Ma'am, shall I stop sharing the screen, ma'am, so that you can use the whiteboard? Yes.
Very good. You can stop sharing the screen. And I have a pelvis with me. So will you be able to see my video so that I can manage to show you the pelvis?
Yes, ma'am. Video is there.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you see my pelvis?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So,
Yes, ma'am.
fine. So, hopefully all of you are able to see. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Right. Okay, so this will be the pelvis which people will, I mean, like, you'll be given to in the exams. Okay, you have to hold the pelvis in the anatomical position. If this is not, this is like this when the woman is going to lie down. So this is how the pelvis is going to be when the woman is going to stand up. You have an attached pelvis to the border. Sometimes they will give you the pelvis alone. You should hold it how the women will be standing. Okay, but the pelvis will not be like this. Or angulation pelvis that is the angle of your pelvis, because your pelvis will make an angle of how much to the parallel line. Angle of 60 degrees or inclination angle. So on the angle you should hold it. And you should also know what is a true pelvis and a false pelvis.
Yes,
okay? Your
above
true pelvis
pelvic
is bound by the inlet.
Yes.
Okay, and above that is your false pelvis. So this is the inlet, okay, which consists of the sacral,
Promontory
your
and the L
bone,
of sacrum.
L of the sacrum, and then you have your iliopectineal line, pectineal line, then you have the ramus of the pubis, then here comes the pubis symphysis, and then the opposite side. So what you see inside like this is the inlet.
Pelvic.
The ulla theriyradhu inlet. So whichever is above that is the false pelvis. So false pelvis will be bound here by the lumbar vertebrae, and then you will have your iliac bones, and then in front you will have the anterior abdominal wall. What is the function of the false pelvis? Is to support the uterine, growing uterus and pregnancy. Other than there is no clinical significance for false pelvis. Okay. So true pelvis you should know. So this will be your anteroposterior diameter, whichever we will see. Okay. Ideally in the anteroposterior diameter. Okay. And this will be most prominent point the transverse diameter. Okay, in your pelvis, you'll not be able to see the transverse diameter. So we will be measuring only the anteroposterior diameter. Okay, ba. So this is how you're going to do a PV. Okay, imagine a patient like this, 2 fingers, gloved finger. You're going to put it and first try to tip the sacral promontory. Ideally, you should not be able to reach it. Otherwise, your patient even when you sometimes when you want to tip, you should bend your fingers a little bit more to try to tip that. Okay, so the first thing go and see is try to feel the sacral promontory, and then you will see the curve of the sacrum. Okay, and then you come to the sides. Can you see this one is the sacrosciatic notch?
Yes.
This admits 2 fingers. Okay, so this is, like the normal pelvis. So then you see the sacrosciatic notch. Now you come to the side walls. Okay, whether they are converging or diverging. And this is the ischial spine. Okay, so you're going to feel it with these 2 fingers. Ideally, you're not supposed to touch both the ischial spine simultaneously with this widespread fingers. Okay, and then you come, you have to see whether the ischial spines are prominent. Feel the 2 ischial spines simultaneously. And when you come out, this is the outlet, whether it accommodates 4 knuckles. Okay, that means your intertuberous diameter. In the intertuberous diameter, nadula 4 knuckles vekka mudiyirudhan paakano. And then this is your your subpubic arch. Whether it admits the backside of 2 fingers, and then when you come out, you will see the angle, subpubic angle with the left hand. Okay, so adu vandu whether you're going to measure it between these 2 fingers or these 2 fingers. If it is index and the middle finger abdina, this angle is acute. If it is thumb and the index finger, your angle is obtuse. Okay, this you are going to put on the women's you'll have the urethra, vulva, and the இது பார்த்துட்டு இந்த ஆங்கிள் நேரோனா அது ஆண்ட்ராய்டு, மத்த எல்லாத்துலயுமே வைடா தான் இருக்கும். Okay, so unless it is proper CPD, don't say narrow and all. Okay, so outlet measurements வந்து 3 விஷயம் தான். Your intertuberous diameter, your subpubic arch, and the subpubic angle. இது 3 சொல்லணும். Okay, and then you are measuring the diagonal conjugate like this. Okay, with this left hand, you're going to mark which point is going to be there. Even with the pen, you can mark it out, bring it out and put a scale between these 2 points and measure. That gives you a diagonal conjugate. Okay, guys? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So, and about your asynclitism, okay? Usually, your biparietal, this is a fetal head. Okay? Imagine a well-flexed head. Okay, ba? Well flexed na enna artham, face மேல போயிரணும், head கொஞ்சம் உள்ள போயிரணும், அந்த மாதிரி வச்சீங்கன்னா தான் well flexed head. Well flexed head அப்படினா தான் vertex will be the இது வரும். presenting part. How will you show vertex? It should be shown like a diamond. Okay. Anterior you should have a
anterior
in the
fontanelle.
yes, anterior fontanelle, posterior fontanelle வைக்கிற மாதிரி தான் காட்டுவீங்க. This is your vertex. You will hold it like a diamond. Okay ma, so when you are going to show it, okay, usually your left occipito anterior is common. Left is relation to the maternal pelvis. So this is left. Left la occipit anterior வரதான் common. So flexion la போனாதான் it is correct. இப்படிதான் hold பண்ணும், flex பண்ண மாதிரி. Okay வா, அப்பதான் கீழ இருந்து பார்த்தா you will see the vertex is coming out. Can you see guys?
Yes ma'am.
நல்ல flex பண்ணா அதுவே நீ இப்படி மிட்டா புடிச்சேன்னு வெச்சுக்கோ, இது உனக்கு bro மாதிரி தான் வரும், என் pelvis விட்டு வெளியிலே வராது.
Okay.
Okay, so you will usually have a hole for your foramen manual mari water irukku spinal cord oda hole la. Put your finger inside that and hold the head in a flexed manner so that you can see your vertex is coming out. Okay.
Okay.
So left occipito anterior, usually if this is engaging like this in the midline, then there is no asyncretism. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, if it is okay konjam periya head adnala po mattingiradhu. If what is the difference now? Here the engaging diameter, instead of BPT you have something called as subparieto supraparietal diameter. அப்படினா ஒன்னு வந்து parietal boneக்கு மேல இருக்கும், ஒன்னு parietal boneக்கு கீழ இருக்கும். So இப்படி straight-ஆ midline-ஆ வராம இப்படி கோணலா ஆகி head engage ஆகும். What is the advantage? Subparieto supraparietal diameter வந்து it's only 8.75 to 9 cm. BPD எவ்வளோ? 9.5. So அதனால ஒரு 0.5 difference கிடைக்கிறது. So whenever there is a small contraction at the inlet, especially in your flat pelvis, platypaloid pelvis லாம் வந்து there will be this asyncretism. So கொஞ்சம் கோணலா இருக்கும்போது inlet மட்டும் அது cross பண்ணிடுச்சுன்னா mid cavity outlet platypaloid pelvisல நார்மலா இருக்கும். So delivery ஆயிடும். அதனாலதான் asyncretism you should know. So வந்து suppose if it is posterior parietal presentation na, can you see posterior parietal bone உள்ள போயிடுது, அப்ப மேல எது பக்கத்துல வந்து head வந்திருக்கு, anterior head வருது. Okay, if it is anterior parietal presentation, see the whole head goes near the sacrum. Can you understand guys?
Okay.
நாம இப்படி கோணன் போச்சுன்னா இது பக்கத்துல head போயிடும், இந்த பக்கமா போச்சுன்னா ஃப்ரண்ட்ல வரும். So that is your supraparieto subparietal diameter asyncretism. Okay, if you understand that is enough. Okay, so let us show about inlet cavity outlet different types of pelvis. Okay, so inlet la வந்து what will be the shape for gynecoid? இது sorry, இது வந்து சும்மா mold பண்ணி ஒட்டி வச்சிருக்காங்க, just don't imagine, you can tell me.
Some
Gynecoid will be usually a round shape.
round.
Okay. How will be an android?
Heart shaped.
Heart shaped or more of a triangle. அப்படினா
Triangle.
இந்த இடத்துல prominent-ஆ இருக்கணும். அப்ப எது prominent ஆக போகுது?
Sacral promontory.
அப்பதான் heart வரும் இல்லையா? heartல கொஞ்சம் உள்ள போனா தானே heart வரும். So sacral promontory will be prominent in a android. Android தான் நீங்க முக்கியமா தெரிஞ்சுக்கணும். So sacral promontory will be prominent. அதுதான் வந்து inletல மெயினா தெரிஞ்சுக்க வேண்டியது. Sometimes even you can have beaking also here. Say pubic symphysis-ல beaking வரலாம். Okay. அதுக்கப்புறம் greater sciatic notch will not admit 2 fingers.
2 fingers.
That is your android. Then again your spines will be prominent. Both the spine interspinal diameter you will be able to tip the interspinal diameter simultaneously. Outlet வரும்போது இந்த angle will be acute.
Okay.
So இவ்ளோ தெரிஞ்சுண்டா போதும், அதே மாதிரி side walls will be converging. இது வந்து android. So this you should know. Gynecoid இல்லாம android தான் ரொம்ப ரொம்ப important because you're not supposed to miss the android pelvis. Okay. So now about anthropoid and platypaloid. What is anthropoid pelvis?
Vertically oval.
Excellent. So you will have a pelvis which is vertically oval. இந்த இடத்துல கொஞ்சம் elongate ஆயிடும். அப்படின்னா என்ன இருக்கும்? Your anteroposterior diameter will be increased. Transverse diameter can be normal, but it will not be that contracted pelvis அளவுக்கு shorten ஆகாது. it will be little less, but still it can negotiate. So anteroposteriorly இது ஓவலா இருக்கிறதுனால what are all the complication it can happen? ஓவலா இருக்கும். So most of the time head will go and
posterior
in the occipito posterior position la தான் வரும் நமக்கு. occipito anterior வராது. occipito posterior position deflex head la போகும். delayed rotation and delivery will be like face to pubis delivery is more common. இது கொஞ்சம் ரொம்பவே குட்டி பெல்விஸ்குள்ள உள்ள போக மாட்டேங்குது, but that you remember. anthropoid la occipito posterior positions are more common. rotation க்கு அங்க இடம் இருக்காது. they will deliver as face to pubis. platypaloid la they will be transversely oval. So அதுவும் inletல. So they will not be able to engage in the BPD. இதுல acentral engage ஆயிடும். But once they enter into the inlet, it will be your mid cavity and outlet will be easy to negotiate and go. Okay, va? Fine. So when all can you do trial of labor? What is trial of labor?
Mama, to allow for a vaginal normal delivery.
Vaginal delivery in a case of a minor degree CPD. Major degree la you don't live trial of labor. So what are all the other things where you don't live? Major degree la பண்ண மாட்டோம். வேற என்ன? Anybody else can answer? Come on.
Average size fetus.
Yeah, you will allow in a average size fetus, minor degree CPD. There is no other medical problem
or obstetric complications.
She's not an elderly primate, then you will allow. Okay. Yes. Where all will you not allow?
If there is any
outlet contraction.
Yes. What is the meaning of outlet contractions?
The fist cannot be accommodated between the tuberosities.
Your 4 knuckles or your fist cannot be accommodated between your 2 intertuber diameter, as well as there will be a narrowing of this arch. Okay. So that will not allow the baby to be delivered at all. The only option is cesarean section. And one more thing is isolated contraction, outlet contractions are very rare. Usually they can have a mid cavity contractions also are there. So adanal you will not allow. So appa eppa trial kudukalam? Trial of labor is only for contraction at the level of
inlet.
Inlet.
Minor degree.
Level of inlet minor degree. Where any level of contraction irundalo, you will not allow for normal vaginal delivery. You will directly go in for cesarean section. Okay. So adu vandu you should know what are all the things to say successful trial of labor.
Both the woman and the baby born normally.
Baby are born normally. So if the mother has a complete perineal tear or like a rectal mucosal tear, all those things problem irunduchu appadina, it is a failed trial. Okay, even if she is delivered vaginally also. Adhe mari baby is asphyxiated going into NICU, baby is having a problem nalu failed trial da. So it is not cesarean section mattu failed trial kadiyadu. Without morbidity for the mother and baby irundada, it is a successful trial. Okay. What are all the things to say that yes, it's going in for successful trial? 1.
The uterine contraction are good.
Uterine contractions are good. Very good. Where?
The descent of baby is good.
Yes. Uterine contraction engagement first.
Engagement.
So early engagement. Early in the labor itself engagement happens. That is a good sign. Adukapram progress of the labor. Both descent and cervical dilatation occurs simultaneously. It is a good progress. So good progress of labor irukku. Early rupture of membranes illa. Then
and cervix are applied to the head.
Very good. So these are all the signs to say that it is a good. Appa, what are all the bad prognostic signs?
Cuffing of cervix and
yes. So what is the meaning of that? Is usually when your head is there, okay, imagine your baby head, cervix will be like hugging the baby. That means it's a well applied cervix. Okay. Whereas in the baby தாண்டி இப்படி cervix பாதி கொஞ்சம் வெளியில தெரிஞ்சிட்டு இருக்கு அப்படின்னா it is loosely applied cervix. Okay. Loosely applied cervix is a bad prognostic sign for your trial of labor. ஓகே வெல் அப்ளைட்னா கொஞ்சம் நல்ல சர்விக்ஸ் மேல போகணும், பாப்பா அழகா கீழே வருதுன்னு அர்த்தம். ஓகே அது மாதிரி early formation of caput also it's a bad sign. Okay, and definitely you should put the partogram. Partogramla you know that's a very slow progress of labor, then again that's a bad sign. Early rupture of membrane, which you already told you, early rupture ஆயிடுச்சு அப்படினாலே அது வெல் அப்ளைடா இல்ல, ஒரு ஸ்பேஸ் இருக்கு இந்த ஹெட்டுக்கும் சர்விக்ஸ்க்கும் நடுவுல, அதுல வந்து கொஞ்சம் தண்ணி உள்ள வந்து ரப்சர் ஆயிடுச்சு. So அப்பயுமே வந்து that is all bad signs. So you should know what are all the good signs and what are all the bad signs. Okay, and what else should I say? So and other things you should know about the methods to assess the pelvis. Okay, so one okay, even if you don't know all the names, few things you should know. One is Manroker-Muller's method. Okay, so you know, like you are supposed to keep the fingers of the right hand, 2 fingers gloved at the level of ischial spines. Okay, and baby's head you're supposed to catch it with the left hand. Okay, wow. Sorry. Okay, and you try to push the baby's head and your thumb is placed on top of the symphysis pubis. Okay, thumb on the symphysis pubis, 2 fingers at the level of ischial spines, and the baby is pushed with the left hand inside. Okay, so the baby is going easily inside. There is no overriding and it is reaching up to the level of ischial spines. It means there
No
is
CPD.
no CPD. Okay, the baby can be pushed a little but not up to spine, and it is just flushing with the thumb. Abdina minor degree.
Okay.
Baby cannot be pushed down and the thumb override panni or baby is moving like this. Abdina, it is major degree. Okay, so this is Manroker-Muller's method for CPD assessment.
Yes.
Okay, and there are other methods to
Okay.
say CPD assessment also. One is your Muller
Iron.
method. Okay, adukku vandu you will ask either you can push it or your assistant can push it. Again, right hand, these are only abdominal methods. 2 fingers of your right hand are placed on top of the symphysis pubis. Okay, ask either your assistant or yourself, you push the baby from the buttock mala fundus la irundhu, you try to push the baby. Okay, to see whether again baby is going inside, flushed or overriding.
Okay.
மூணுமே எதுலமே சேஞ்ச் ஆகாது, எல்லா மெத்தட்லயும் அதேதான். Going inside, flushed overriding on. Flushed na minor degree, overriding na major degree. Whether it's abdomen or pelvis, it doesn't make a difference. Okay, and some idla vandittu enna, there is another method which is your Iron-Donald method. Okay, yeah, I can hold it like this. Okay, should kaata mudiyaliyo mele thukku. Iron-Donald method la you will hold the baby with 3 fingers. Okay, so 3 fingers of this hand, 1, 2 and 3, that is your putty finger, ring finger and the middle finger on the sinciput, and the other 3 fingers again, and your index finger will come on the 2 side symphysis pubis, and with the thumb you will try to push the baby's head behind, and an assistant is asked to give a fondal pressure from above. Baby oda bum la irundhu. Okay, so when again the baby can be pushed in, flushed overriding up. So whatever the method is, the concept is just the same. Okay, so I mean, like it can be abdominal method, abdominal pelvic method, or it can be anything, but at least you know flushed overriding avladha. So at least you remember Manroker-Muller method, or even you can say bimanual method or abdominal pelvic method, or the other one is veru abdomen method. There are lots of names for it. Nobody will ask you all those names.
Okay.
But these are the concepts. Whether it can be going in or whether it doesn't go in. Okay. So now tell me, what are all the factors which say trial of labor can be successful? Yeda nambi nama trial kudukrom. Simple question. Why should trial?
Ma'am, molding and good contraction.
Very good. So it depends upon all the 3. Power, passage, passenger. So power is your uterine contractions. So with uterine contraction, what are you expecting?
Push to the baby.
Where flexion. Flexion. So vandu unakku or deep flexed head. Okay, what is the engaging diameter in a deep flexed head?
9.5. 9. Around 9.
டக்குன்னு வெளில வந்துருமே.
9.5.
அது வந்து எக்ஸ்டென்ஷன். எக்ஸ்டென்ஷன் அப்படின்னு நீ சொன்னா ஃபேஸ் பிரசன்டேஷன்.
Face presentation.
So there are two different concepts which you should understand. Your head fully flexed, occipito anterior. இதுதான் நார்மல். லெஃப்ட் பெல்விஸ்ல உட்கார்ந்துட்டு இருக்கு. லெஃப்ட் occipito anterior ஃபுல்லா ஹெட் ஃப்ளெக்ஷன்ல இருக்கு. Okay?
Okay.
So that is your normal. Full extension. Okay? It's mento anterior இப்படி உட்கார்ந்துட்டு இருக்கும். Okay வா? This is face. Okay, we are talking something about deflections. So full flexion illama konjound flexion or konjound extension la utkandittu irukku. So adha unnoda deflections. So deflections will be suboccipitofrontal or occipitofrontal.
Okay.
Illaya, so those are your diameters which are little bigger than your fully flexed head. Okay, so uterine contractions mode enna agum, it will aid more flexion of the head. So head flex aga nalla favorable idu vandu iduvagum. So that is your uterine contraction, which is the power one.
Okay.
Second is the passage. Passage la enna agum,
Pelvic inlet, like pubic symphysis and sacroiliac joint, slightly.
so that will all the ligaments and joints ellame konjam space koduthu they will relax. Okay va, during the contractions. So symphysis pubis ku nadula konjam relaxation irukum, sacroiliac joints ku nadula relaxations varum. So that is called as give of your pelvis.
Okay.
So that is the passage. Third one is the passenger. What will the passenger do?
Molding of
Molding. What is molding?
the suture, the bony bones will
Bone,
approximate it.
there will be overriding. Okay, so parietal bone na மேல இருக்கும். So the frontal bone will go deep into the parietal bone. அதே மாதிரி occipital bone will also go deep into it. இது வந்து அட்டாச் பண்ணி வச்சிருக்காங்க, நாங்க வச்சிர கூடாதுன்னு. பேபிக்கு இது அட்டாச்டா இருக்காது. It will be spacious-ஆ இருக்கும். So the bones will override. ஒரு போன் கீழ ஒரு போன் போகும். ஓகேவா? So it is like this. Your occipital bone will go into the parietal bone, frontal bone will go into the parietal bone. So there will be a little more space. பாப்பாவோட தலை குட்டி ஆயிடும். So திருப்பி ஒரு space வரும். So how much of space can you get with all these three?
0.5 for molding.
Yes. Molding வந்து up to 4 millimeter is safe.
Okay.
Okay, more than 6 millimeters வந்துச்சுன்னா what will happen? ஓவரா ஒரு போன் ஒன்னு தலைக்கு மேல மேல
Cannot be separated.
Okay, அது okay. என்ன பாப்பாக்கு
Intracranial hemorrhages may be.
Very good. இந்த Gallen's vein-லாம் அங்க இருக்கும். ஓவரா போன் ஒன்னு மேல ஒன்னு போய் அது crush பண்ணும்போது இந்த bleeds நடக்க ஆரம்பிச்சிரும். Intracranial bleeds வந்துரும். ஓகேவா? So அதனால too much of molding is not good. So now talking about molding, what is the grading of molding?
Grade 1 just touch to each other.
Grade 1. So இப்ப இங்க இருக்கிறது almost like grade 1, both the bones are touching each other. Okay, there is no overlap. So இது grade 1. What is grade 2?
Overlap, but can be reduced.
Pressure, it will separate. You can separate. Just ஒரு pressure வச்சு அழுத்துனீங்க அப்படினா இந்த போனும் separate ஆயி போய்டும். Okay, so that is the அது பேர் என்ன, grade 1.
Grade 2.
Grade 2, sorry. So approximately just touching each other is grade 1. Overlap இருக்கும், but gentle pressure can separate will be your grade 2. But even with gentle pressure, you're not able to separate is grade 3.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you cannot, grade 3 is dangerous. If you have grade 3 molding, definitely baby will have compromise. Baby ku intracranial hemorrhage varum, cranial bleed varum. Okay va? So that is there. So up to வந்து உங்களுக்கு ஒரு 5 to 6 mm you can get it. Okay, for molding you will get around 4 mm. Give off the pelvis la ஒரு 4 mm கிடைக்கும். And uterine contraction la ஒரு உங்களுக்கு comfortable diameter present ஆகும். So that is why minor degree CPD up to 5 millimeter of difference you can allow a trial of labor. அதுக்கு மேல there is no role for trial. ஏன்னா trial, what are the factors which helps you to think that there may be a successful trial? Na என்னன்னா power, passenger. Power is
uterine contraction, passenger is molding,
Yes.
and pelvis give off.
Of the pelvis. So the மூணு வெச்சிட்டு தான் you are going to expect இது, and வந்து maximum these things can give you a 6 millimeter தான் இருக்கும். So up to 5 millimeter difference இருந்தா you can give it a trial. அதுக்கு மேல 60 degree CPD இருந்துச்சுன்னா there is no role for trial of labor. Okay வா? So இது பார்த்துட்டோம், different types of இது பார்த்துட்டோம். Okay, so how will you do a trial of labor? How will you conduct a trial of labor?
Ma'am, prepare the patient and claim consent, and also for consent for LSCS.
Yes, you will always keep her ready for LSCS. அப்பனா orals என்ன கொடுப்போம்?
Antacid. Okay.
Keep her out.
Okay.
இருந்துச்சுன்னா நம்மளால LSCS னா எடுக்க முடியாது. So you will say nil by mouth or nil per oral. You will keep her
and IV fluids.
And then yes, you will give her IV fluids.
And
keep her hydrated. We'll say let us keep it around hydrated. Kandipa IV fluids தேவைப்படும். Okay, and then okay, 1 centimeters லப கத்துது, pain என்ன பண்ணுவோம்?
Analgesics and
so labor analgesia என்ன type of labor analgesia?
Epidural.
நம்ம குடுக்குறோமா இல்லையோ?
Epidural.
Labor analgesia na epidural கொடுத்துருவேன் அப்படின்னு சொல்லணும். ஏன்னா you expect a prolonged labor for these patients. So you will give a labor analgesia.
And partograph will be ready.
Good, excellent doctor. I'm very, very happy. You should mark a partogram to monitor the progress of labor. Papa நல்லா இருக்கான்னு வெச்சு பாப்போம்.
CTG to be applied.
Yes. So if available, continuous electronic fetal monitoring is always recommended. Okay. அதுக்கப்புறம் then what all you should do?
If the contraction is good, allow for spontaneous, or if not, the contraction
yes, allow for if contractions are not there, you also give
do oxytocin.
Yes, and then you allow her for delivery. You will monitor each and everything, and once she delivers, even you can give her a forceps or outlet kitte edavadhu onu koduttu neenga help pannalam.
Okay.
Okay. So is there anything else we have missed in this? We have almost done in nanikira. Is there anything else you want to discuss, doctor? Anyone? Okay. See, certain things you should be very, very sure, very, very calm. Certain things you should not forget. You are not allowed to forget at all. One know about delivery of baby, and that is occipito anterior. How will that deliver? அப்படின்றது தெரியணும். Okay ba? So baby's head
flexion, internal rotation.
Try to hold the baby. ஒரு அளவுக்காவது flex பண்ணி hold பண்ண பழக பாத்துக்கோங்க. Okay, so this is how the baby's is. This is the baby's attitude. Attitude should be universal flexion always. Okay, so papa அந்த பக்கம் கையும் காலையும் நீட்டிட்டலாம் இப்படிலாம் கொண்டு போய் இப்படி வாங்கி விட கூடாது.
Okay.
Okay ma, so the baby will not go like this. So the baby will always be at least in the mutti madakadi kuda paravala, but you try to keep the baby as much as folded as you can. அதே மாதிரி ஹெட் இப்படி தொங்கிட்டுலாம் உள்ள விட கூடாது. இப்படி இருந்துச்சுனாலே அது வந்து deep flexed head. Keep it as well flexed. நல்லா அமுக்கி பிடிச்சு ஃபுல்லா ஒரு பக்கமா பேபி பிடிச்சுக்கணும். Okay, then you hold the pelvis in the anatomical position. இப்படியே வெறும் pelvis கொடுத்தாங்கன்னா படுக்க வச்சிராதீங்க. இந்த போர்டு இல்லாம pelvis கொடுத்தாலும் pelvis எப்பவுமே நிக்கிற மாதிரி தான் இருக்கணும் மதருக்கு. ஓகே, படுக்க வச்சிட்டு படுக்க கூடாது. ஓகேவா? ஏன்னா நம்ம நார்மலா என்ன பண்ணுதுன்னு சொல்ல போறோம். சோ ஆல்வேஸ் லெஃப்ட் occipito anterior, அதுதான் காமன் நார்மல் பொசிஷன்ஸ். ஓகே, சோ என்கேஜ்மென்ட் லெஃப்ட் occipito anterior இந்த பக்கம் வருது.
Internal rotation.
Yes, engagement, descent with increased flexion. Okay, and then where does your internal rotation occur?
Mid pelvis.
Pelvic floor or mid pelvis? Okay, what is the thing which is responsible for internal rotation? Your levator ani muscles. Where is your levator ani muscles get attached?
Pelvic brim.
Yes.
Pelvis wall.
No, brim கிடையாது, cavity தான் எல்லாமே.
Cavity. Pelvic
ischial spines. So it is your white arcuate line at the level of ischial spines is your levator ani, and they get attached to all the vagina, in the pako rectum and the pako like it comes in like it starts laterally and they come attach midline. In the பக்கம் laterally in midline. They are a fan shaped muscle. So இது பாப்பா போய் லிவேட்டர்ல ஒரு தட்டு தட்டும், உடனே ஒரு ஸ்ப்ரிங் மாதிரி அது ரீகாயில் ஆகும், கொஞ்சம் திரும்பும். திருப்பி போய் லிவேட்டர்ல ஒரு தட்டு தட்டும், ஸ்ப்ரிங் மாதிரி ரீகாயில் ஆகும், திரும்பும். லிவேட்டர்ல தட்டும், திரும்பும். So that is the reason for your internal rotation. Okay, so which causes internal rotation?
Uterine contraction and levator and support.
Levator and muscle.
So levator muscles are there at the level of your ischial spine. So ஊருக்கு முன்னாடி பாப்பாவை இங்கேயே ரொட்டேட் பண்ணி வச்சா அது தப்பு. Brimல rotate ஆகாது. கரெக்ட்டா? Rotation occur only at the level of your spines. ஓகேவா? So spines கிட்ட வந்துருது, rotate ஆயிடுச்சு பாப்பா. rotate ஆகும்போது முடிஞ்ச வரைக்கும் flexionல hold பண்ண பாருங்க. பண்ணிட்டு பாப்பாவோட head இங்க வெளியில வந்துருது, outlet கிட்ட. Okay? And delivery of the baby is occurred by
Extension.
Excellent. So internal rotation, excellent. Okay. Extension ஆயிடுது. அதுக்கப்புறம் it
Restitution.
அப்புறம் ஒரு external rotation where the external rotation கிட்ட வரும்போது baby's anterior shoulder comes and occupies the anteroposterior diameter. அதுக்கப்புறம் baby is delivered through lateral flexion. ஓகேவா? வெளில வந்துருது. எப்பயாவது பண்ணி வெளியில எடுத்துருவீங்க, but at least basic things கரெக்டா ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கணும். So engagement, descent with increased flexion, அப்புறம் spines கிட்ட internal rotation, then it comes outlet கிட்ட baby is delivered by extension. Restitution will be only 1/8 of the circle. External rotation, அதுக்குள்ள shoulder come and இது பண்ணும், it will come and engage. அப்புறம் baby is born by lateral flexion. Okay ma? So certain things you are expected to know. Occipital posteriorல what all can happen மட்டும் தெரிஞ்சா போதும். full baby எப்படி டெலிவர் பண்ணனும் கேட்க மாட்டாங்க. Okay, so இப்போ இந்த occiput வந்து posterior உட்கார்ந்துட்டு இருக்கு. Okay, so full flexed head na இப்படி பிடிக்கணும், so that இந்த இது மேல வந்துறணும் face. Occipital posterior கொஞ்சம் deep flexed இருக்கும் and occiput is posterior. Okay. So right occipital posterior is more common position. So right it is like pelvis.
Okay.
Occiput, right occipital posterior is more common. Occipital anterior it's more of left, occipital posterior is more of right, is more common. So what all can happen in occipital posterior?
Flexion.
That's okay. Either it can undergo complete rotation, long rotation, and it can become occipital anterior and deliver like a normal baby. Normal நம்ம left occipital anterior மாதிரியே இதுவும் வந்து deliver ஆகலாம். That is one. What else can happen?
Arrest.
So ஒரு திருப்பி வந்து short rotation, it can turn into ஒரு occipital direct occipital posterior மாறிடலாம். That is okay. What else can happen? இங்கேயும் போகாம நடுவுல நின்னுச்சுனா
arrest, deep transverse
arrest. So occipital posteriorல it can rotate, full rotation, become long anterior rotation and become occipital anterior. Short rotation, occipital posterior deliver as face to pubis. Face to pubis. அப்படினா the face delivery different, face to pubis is different. That you should understand. Okay? So occiput posterior direct வருது, deliver ஆகும்போது இதுல வந்து your face comes first. Your chin and other things comes first. Okay, so here the delivery will be by flexion and then it will be extension. Okay ba, idu face to pubis kitta face varudhu artham. Okay, this is different from your face delivery, so remember that. So it can either undergo a short posterior rotation, long anterior rotation, or it can get arrested in between. Okay ba, is there a normal chance in bro presentation? Bro presentation, what you should know? Bro,
extension of it.
Yes, full extension illa partial extension.
Deflection.
That is
Okay.
bro. Okay. So partial extension bro la varum. What is the engaging diameter?
13.5.
What is the diameter called? Mento vertical.
Mento vertical.
Mento vertical 13.5. That is the longest diameter. Is there a chance that they will deliver normally?
No, ma'am.
No.
It
So
cannot
if it is
accommodate.
a bro presentation, there is no role for normal delivery. Directly cesarean section. Broke. Okay. What about face? In face presentation, who will deliver normally? Who will not deliver normally?
Posterior presentation.
Yes.
Delivery.
So post இதுக்கு வந்து எந்த part வந்து comment சொல்லுவோம்? இப்போ
Mental.
very good. Mentum. So what is mentum? In the baby or the chin, இந்த இடம் தான் mentum. Okay. So this is mentum. So depending on that, depending on left mento anterior will deliver vaginally. Okay. Whereas right mento posterior or mento posteriors, you will do cesarean section. So mento anteriors can still deliver vaginally. Mento posterior will be cesarean section. So at least you should know which all will not deliver normally. Okay.
Okay.
So adanala your bro presentation cesarean section direct. There is no question at all. Second, mentum la mento anterior will deliver normally. Mento posterior cesarean section.
Okay.
Adhe mari occipito posterior la if there is a deep transverse arrest, again cesarean section. Okay. So what are all the complications for CPD? What are all the complications in the mother? Complication in the baby.
For mother, there will be fistulas because of that
Mother,
perineum tear.
okay. The baby ரொம்ப நேரமா இங்கேயே இருக்கு. இங்க என்ன உட்கார்ந்து
Uterine rupture.
bladders இருக்கு.
Bladder.
Injury வரலாம். Okay. So அங்கேயே இருந்து avascular necrosis occurs for the
Necrosis.
bladder. அப்ப என்ன ஆகும்?
Fistulas.
Fistulas வரலாம். So avascular necrosis, fistula with the uterine cavity or the vagina. Okay. So bladder injury இதெல்லாம் வந்து obstructed labor மாதிரி எடுத்துக்கணும். Complication of CPD left unnoticed. இப்போ ஒரு PHC ல ஒரு பேஷண்ட் இருக்கு, அது யாருமே பார்க்கவே இல்ல, ஒரு CPD க்கு நார்மல் டெலிவரி ட்ரை பண்ணி மிஸ்மேனேஜ் பண்ணி உங்க ஹாஸ்பிடல் வருது அப்படினா you will anticipate all these complications. So bladder injury, bladder ஓட fistulas, அதே மாதிரி வந்து மதருக்கு வந்து dehydration. So you should also remember about complications for obstructed labor. Obstructed laborல வேற என்னென்ன complication மதர்ல வரா? Dehydration ஆனா என்ன ஆகும்?
Uterine rupture.
Uterine rupture, very shock, very good. What else?
Sepsis can occur.
Yes, sepsis, ketoacidosis, excellent. So acidosis per se, ketones are இருந்துட்டும், even lactic acidosis. So acidosis போய்டும், patient sepsis, shock, இதெல்லாமே dehydration common. Okay வா? Rupture uterus, your இது retraction rings and all those things அதெல்லாமே வரும் மதருக்கு. பேபிக்கு என்னென்ன வரலாம்? Asphyxia, fetal distress, death, injuries, babyக்கு எல்லா injuriesம் வரலாம். Okay, intracranial bleeds, even fractures எல்லாமே வரலாம். Okay வா? So and what else you want to see? So இதெல்லாம் I've shown you. Okay, so you know, I mean like இது பத்தி உங்களுக்கு கொஞ்சம் தெரிஞ்சுக்கணும், forceps பத்தி. So hopefully you all know something about forceps. Okay. I don't think I have an outlet length, but at least you can imagine this is outlet. Yeah. Okay. So this is the forceps. Okay. And sorry, I have a mid cavity, but at least இதுதான் forceps ஓட concept தெரிஞ்சுக்கலாம் நீங்க. Okay. So about forceps, what all you should know? Basically, outlet forceps தெரிஞ்சா போதும். Other forceps, they will not ask you people. Okay. So outlet la, how will you identify left and right blade?
Cephalic bend.
Yes, cephalic and your pelvic curve which கண்டுபிடிக்கலாம். Sometimes you can leave it on the floor. Okay. So whichever side it like, you know, it lies straight, you can identify whichever side. And sides of the forceps, it's in relation to the maternal pelvis. So motherக்கு leftல apply பண்ற blade வந்து left side blade, motherக்கு rightக்கு போற blade right side blade.
Okay.
Okay. So that is about your forceps. And அதே மாதிரி first thing when you get the forceps, you're going to do what you call as phantom application. ஒரு இமேஜினரியா இந்த மாதிரி போட்டுட்டு you are going to try and lock it and see. Okay, so this is your phantom application. Phantom na யாருமே இல்லாம இமேஜினேஷனா அதை போட்டு இழுக்க பாக்குறதுக்கு பேர் phantom application. Okay, so you will hold a forceps like a fork. Spoon hold பண்ற மாதிரி தான் you will hold the forceps. Okay, it will be your this is the left blade. Okay, so left, usually the first blade which goes inside is the left. Okay, so left will go be the first blade. So with your right hand you will hold it with the left hand like a spoon. Okay, இப்படிதான் hold பண்ண போறீங்க. Okay, with your hand in the vagina you're going to guide the blade and keep it on the left and ask your assistant to stabilize. So உங்க assistant இத பிடிச்சிட்டு இருப்பாங்க, but right blade will go directly. You can put it on the right side. Okay, imagine the patient, put it on the right side and then you lock it. Okay, so once you lock it you will say three things: application, locking and traction is easy. Abdina, it means the rotation is complete and you applied it correctly. Okay, for example, உங்களுக்கு இது லாக் பண்ண வரல, இந்த பக்கம் போட்டுட்டீங்க, இப்படியும் வருது, உங்களுக்கு எப்படி பண்ணாலும் இத லாக் பண்ண வரல அப்படினா it means your rotation is not complete or your application is not right. Okay, so புடிச்சு இழுத்தீங்கன்னா you will definitely cause perineal injuries. மதருக்கு வந்து பயங்கர lacerations இருக்கும், பேபிக்கும் வந்து இன்ஜுரி வரும். Okay, outlet forceps எப்ப போடலாம்? Indication for outlet forceps.
Many bad signs in trial of labor.
Yeah, usually you don't give a trial of forceps in a trial of labor. Okay, what does trial of forceps mean? Trial of forceps.
Don't know.
Okay, see, you are not expecting a patient to deliver, but you still want to give it a try. Okay, and keeping everything ready for cesarean, you are putting a forceps delivery, and then if it fails you are going to do cesarean. That's trial of forceps. அப்ப எங்க பண்ணுவோம்?
Operation.
Excellent. Operation theater la, because you are going to like decide for cesarean session, அதுக்கு முன்னாடி try பண்றதுதான் trial of forceps. Okay, fine, you keep everything ready for cesarean and you just try. If it is not going to come, you are abandoning it and going to cesarean. Okay va, so outlet க்கு வந்து it should be at the level of outlet. So +3 station கிட்ட வந்துட்டனா தான் outlet forceps போட முடியும். So at least you should know these basic things. Okay, and it is for a fully rotated head. Non-rotated head க்கு UG level க்கு there is no forceps delivery சொன்னா தப்பு கிடையாது. Okay, in modern obstetrics we use mostly is outlet. Outlet forceps is only applied at +3 station. Okay, for a fully rotated occipital anterior or posterior rarely, but you can say just this. Non-short of rotation மட்டும் தான் போடும். Okay ma, so with these things you have done. And see, the pelvis diameters, I'm not going to teach all those things. You can just read that. But at least you should understand what is inlet, what is cavity, what is outlet. Okay. So inlet is the entering part of your pelvis.
Pelvic brim.
Pelvic brim or pelvic brim is otherwise called as inlet. Okay. So it is having your sacrum, sacropromontory, your ala of the sacrum and all these things. Idu panikalam. Cavity is the area which is bound by your spines. Spines with the lower surface
S4, S5 junction.
And S4, S5 kitta varadu vandu is your cavity. Okay, and then outlet is your intertuberous along with those sacrococcyx. Some people include coccyx, some people say like after whatever it weighs. So adu neenga panikalam. Okay ma, so if you remember these things about pelvis is good enough. Okay ma'am, so maybe you can practice breech and other things later. So any doubt, anything you want me to show?
No.
Okay, good. I hope all of you understand. I'll give you a surprise test up now. Okay, so fine, I think we have done with the class. Guys, anything you want to ask? Anything, any doubts?
Ma'am, can you repeat A synctilids?
Okay, see, usually your brimல தான் engagement. Okay, at the level of brim, when your head goes exactly in the midline, okay, it is syncretism. Okay, wow.
Okay.
It's in a flat pelvis where your anteroposteriorly it is flat. Imagine in the distance ரொம்ப கொஞ்சமா இது மாதிரியே இருக்குன்னு வெச்சுக்கோங்க. This is literally like a குட்டி pelvis. Okay, where your anteroposteriorly it is flat. Your head will not have space to go like this. Okay, so it is little bit or my rocking movement mari head tilts. Okay, so
Okay,
that
ma'am.
this one subparieto supraparietal diameter will be the engaging diameter. Okay, whichever parietal
Okay.
bone is down, called as anterior posterior. So in the picture la, if you see that, okay, my posterior
Yes, ma'am.
parietal bone is downer than the anterior parietal bone. கீழ உள்ள bone தான் வந்து prominent இருக்கு. So can see this
Yes,
one.
ma'am.
ஏன்னா anterior என்கிட்ட மேல இருக்கு, இங்க இருக்கு anteroparietal bone. Posterior
ma'am.
parietal bone உள்ள போயிடுச்சு. Okay,
Yes,
fine. So this
Yes,
is your posterior asyncretism.
okay, ma'am.
If it is like this,
Okay.
where your anterior parietal bone is down, okay, then it is anterior
Okay, ma'am.
asyncretism.
Okay, ma'am.
This is for flat pelvis or platypaloid pelvis, where the anteroposterior diameter is shorter at the level of the inlet.
Okay,
Okay,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And cavity பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் in your book they give about plane of greatest pelvic dimension and least pelvic dimension. Greatest pelvic dimension is of no obstetric importance. You should know only the least pelvic dimension, which is your mid cavity. Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
And there are certain things which people love to ask is the what are all the importance of ischial spine? Okay, very favorite for most people.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ischial spines, you should know importance. Anyone can answer me that? What are all the importance or what all will you know about ischial spines?
Ma'am, internal rotation occurs at the level of ischial spine.
Internal rotation occurs.
Sacrospinous
Yes,
ligament.
it's a mid cavity.
Sacrospinous.
Sacrospinous ligament is there. Yes.
Block. Pelvic.
Your levator and gets attached there at that level. Okay, where? Prolapse la edavadhu irukka?
Pudendal block. Pudendal.
Yes, pudendal block is given at the level of ischial spine. Very good, doctor. Very good. What else? Deep transverse arrest occurs at the level of
Intestine.
ischial spines. Yes. What else?
External oscillator.
Okay.
Shortest diameter of the pelvis.
Yes, it's the shortest diameter of the pelvis. இது obstetric மட்டுமே யோசிக்கிறோமே, கைனக்ல ஏதாவது?
Ring pessary insertion.
Ring pressure in.
Okay. Yeah, main pudendal block அதுக்கு சொல்லுவேன். Then you will have your, yes, your pessaries will usually lie at the level you expected them, because அதுதான் வந்து your pelvic floor. Again, your levator anai தான் you are going to define everything. Prolapse எல்லாத்துலயுமே இல்லையா? So levator anaiயோட importance you will know about the ischial spines. So these things you should know. Many people love to ask this question about the importance of ischial spines. Okay, ba? So those things you should know. Okay, so I think almost done with it.
Ma'am,
Sharia? So yeah, doctor. Tell me.
difference between unengaged and mobile head. ma'am.
See, usually, you know, when the head totally lies above the pelvic brim, okay? Inga மேல இருக்கு. Imagine your pelvic brim. This is the head. நீங்க இப்படி கை பிடிக்கிறீங்க, இப்படி ஃபுல்லா மூவ் ஆகுது. Okay? Then it is
Okay,
the
ma'am.
mobile head. Totally above the pelvic brim. Okay?
Okay,
Fine.
ma'am.
Engagement, so your biparietal diameter crosses the pelvic brim. Appana,
Yes, ma'am.
your head should lie at the level of spine or maybe a little above the spine தான் இருக்கணும். ஏன்னா BPD ல இருந்து tip of the head there will be a distance or 2 to 3 centimeters.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am. And
Yes, ma'am.
ischial spines is the area which divides your pelvis into two halves. Ischial spines க்கு மேல உள்ளது என்ன நம்பர் சொல்லுவோம்? -1, -2, -3 சொல்லுவோம்.
Yes, ma'am.
Ischial spines உள்ளது
Plus 1
plus
plus
1 plus 2 plus 3. ஏன்னா ischial spines is your zero station.
0.
ஓகேவா? So ischial spines, so BPD வந்து brim கிட்ட வந்துருச்சு அப்படின்னா your head will be little almost like ஒரு -2 -3 and most of the patient engagement will occur at labor. ஓகேவா? so நீங்க வந்து மொபைல்னு சொன்னா totally above அர்த்தம்.
Okay, ma'am.
engagedனா at first வந்து ஒரு 3/5 palpable அவ்வளவுதான் இருந்ததுன்னா engaged. இது ரெண்டுக்கும் இல்லாம ஓரளவுக்கு ஃபிக்ஸ் ஆயிடுச்சு பட் மொபைலாவும் இல்லன்றத we call it unengaged.
Okay, ma'am.
ஓகேவா? so most
Yes,
of the time நல்லா போச்சுனா தான் engaged. engagedனாலே almost only 1/5 தான் palpable இருக்கும். மீதி தலையெல்லாம் உள்ள போயிடுது. இந்த மாதிரி தான் engaged ஆகும். ஓகேவா? so imagine biparietal diameter crossing the pelvic brim. so வெளியில இருந்து நீங்க palpate பண்ணீங்க அப்படினா only 1/5 or maximum 2/5 of the head will be palpable. Sometimes you will have 3/5 or 4/5 palpable but mobile இருக்காது. so this is the in between term. According to the textbooks this does not exist. இது clinical practice la we all use it. okay va? According to any textbooks, any definition, this term doesn't exist at all.
Okay.
okay so this is a colloquial term use பண்ற மாதிரி தான் வெச்சுக்கோங்களே. unengaged அப்படினா உங்க textbook படி பெருசா இருக்காது.
Okay, ma'am.
either engaged or mobile தான் exam பொறுத்த வரைக்கும்.
Okay.
okay so if you have done it, I think we have completed with CPD class. so any doubt you can clear, otherwise we call it a day.
Thank you, ma'am.
okay doctors.
Nice.
so hopefully your classes are starting from Monday. so we'll see if ever you need classes, you can always let us know. Chalo, all the best. All the
Okay,
best
sure.
for the exams, guys.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.